Hey, what's good? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk 2.0, the show. I'm Ed.
I'm Latif.
And listen, what we do here is Latif picks the subject. We discuss said subject, and sometimes we clash, sometimes we don't, sometimes we're on the same page. But I just want to get that out the air because I don't want any smoke. She picks the subject. It's always on her. Always. So, what are we talking about today?
Are grudges necessary?
Yeah, they're necessary. Yes.
I knew you was gonna say that.
No, I'm serious. I love a good. Who doesn't like a good grudge?
Me.
Oh, come
I don't
on.
believe in holding grudges. I don't.
To me, it's a negative mindset. I really don't like holding grudges. I mean, I'll just ignore the person, just avoid them. They send me a text message. I act like I didn't see it. You know, they can like my stuff on Facebook. Am I holding grudges against people right now? I'm trying to think, man.
Yeah, yes, you are.
They're not holding a grudge. I mean, come on. Why can't I, feel a certain way? So when you call me and your phone call just rolls over the voicemail, and you're just like standing across the room, and you know that I'm there. No, I don't think it's a cool thing to hold grudges. I really don't. In all honesty.
No, it's not. It's unhealthy.
It is. It causes the person holding the grudge more stress.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that you say that because I do have this firm belief. It's like written in the back of my mind. It's like when you're holding a grudge, 9 times out of 10, the other person is not even giving you a second thought.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
No, I don't feel like grudges are necessary. I mean, lately I've been done wrong.
Wow. See, this is the part of the show where it gets personal. This is where she gets to throw said me.
No, it ain't
the
true.
red guy under the bus.
No, it's not true. I mean, I've been through some trials lately, in the past with some people I didn't expect it to, but I'm still not, at the moment I was pissed off. Yeah, you feel attacked. Of course you're going to be, pissed off and say things back and everything. But now I'm not, mad. It's just like, I guess, they just revealed who they were. I'm not holding a grudge though. I'm not going to ever probably reach out first.
Reach out.
But, I will say that, they're close enough that, they're still in my prayers, but I'm not.
Wouldn't that be considered holding a grudge? So, what is your concept of holding a grudge?
I don't know. I feel like holding, it's the word itself is so ugly, grudge. It's like you just picture it.
Sludge, grudge, mudge.
Like electric company. No, I think that holding a grudge is just like, a situation happens and you're mad about it. You're still mad about it. Mm-hmm. You're still mad about it. It just goes on and on. You have children, you tell your children about it.
Wow.
You let them know you're mad about it.
Talk to that person.
Yeah.
I no longer, that name is now a curse word. That name comes out your mouth. I'm going to have to watch out your mouth for sure. Okay? That name never gets said. That's like saying the F-bomb. You never say that name. Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's a good explanation. I think holding a grudge it's kind of similar to yours. It's more or less where you just don't want anything to do with that person anymore. Sometimes, you know what, psychologically, in my mind speaking, I think sometimes holding a grudge can be a good thing, especially the way the world is now, because some people just take action on the wrong stuff.
Yeah.
So if they're mad at you, that might cause them to go home, get a weapon, pour sugar in your gas tank, cut your brake lines. So, something I would hope would never happen.
Yeah.
But I think I would rather you hold the grudge against me and never talk to me than me running down the block like, stop shooting.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I think it's pros and cons. It's pros and cons to everything. And I think that holding a grudge can show a sign of strength, and you can definitely show a sign of weakness.
Right.
Because sometimes people hold grudges because they don't know how to speak up for themselves.
Okay, that's true. That's true.
You know, speaking up for themselves, they just walk away mad, and it's like, now I'm mad at you forever because you know, you made me feel inferior.
Well, you know what? There's an old saying, forgive and forget. I have found through life, the realistic thing is, you can't do both. A lot of times you really can't do it. Depending on the slight, depending on what you feel that person has done to you, you know, it's like if I go back to my early years of dating, there are chicks that I hold a grudge against. I am just never talking to you. And no, seriously, no. There's actually people in this world that, you know, and it's not just about relationships. You know, in extreme cases, it's family. I can just like walk past these people like they don't exist. It's not that I'm holding a grudge. I just feel that, hey, listen, due to what you did or the action that you took, I can't really deal with you on that level no more. So you just become someone, I love this song, someone that I used to know. Yeah. You know, does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I mean, I think that, you know, the relationship to you, the person, like, I mean, I have friends, so-called friends that I don't hold a grudge with, but it's like, yeah, you showed a real crazy side.
Right.
I just, you know, I'll still speak to you. I'll, you know,
you
talk on, you know, social media and stuff like that, but you'll never be that girlfriend that I call and just, you know, we chop it up and talk and laugh because it's just not the same.
Right. You know, that, I think that is the thing with the whole grudge thing. I think it's basically, you just can't forgive the person for whatever reason. And you just choose to keep your distance. That's, to me, that's not really a grudge. You know, now, best case scenario is you get everything resolved and, you know, you move on with your life. You may not be as close as you once were, but at least you're back to being close. Right. But to me, that's like, okay, that's not really a good trade-off. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because at some point you feel like I have to stand up for myself. This isn't okay, and they need to know that this isn't okay. But then, you know, you look at life for what it is, and it's like, okay, life is too short. That's why I say it's dependent on the relationship. Right. So, I don't know.
Well, you know what? I always fall back to what my grandmother used to say to me. You know, Butchie, you came into this world by yourself, more than likely you're going out by yourself. You know, so, you know, people, I find in this life, I don't know if it's because I become like this cranky old man, but I find in some life that people are basically interchangeable. You know, there are some people that are actually awesome, they're great. You know, you never want to sever a relationship, you never want to sever the bond. And then there's some people that you just look back and be like, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with this person ever again in my life. And, you know, I always joke about those situations, those certain people in my past, that you better hope I never see you by the side of the road die.
Yeah, that
I might accelerate. Sucks to be you.
Yeah. See that? I couldn't. I don't know. I would call 911 at least. Maybe I would pull up.
You can't use your phone while you're driving, and I'm going to be driving for the next 15 hours.
No. Well, I think it's definitely, you know, and you know, the downside of not holding a grudge is, you know, you set yourself up you're opening yourself up to be hurt again. Especially if the person is, if you're not holding a grudge, you keep forgiving this person. It doesn't have to be a relationship, it could be a friendship, it could be sibling, it could be parent, it could be whatever. You're setting yourself up to be hurt again because you're like, your heart just won't let you hold a grudge, and here it is, you give them another chance, and here it is, they didn't.
Right, but now I understand.
And there's like,
that's why I say forget. You know, you may not, you know, I try at all costs to forgive, but sometimes I just find it easier just to forget. You know, and that way the slight or the thing that they did to me no longer bothers me. You know, and it's like, I guess you're right in a way. Sometimes it's better to at least try to be the bigger person and resolve the issue. You know, because I mean, they always say in New York, as big as it is, it's a small place. So you never know where you're going to run into somebody else. And if you run into that person as a person that you said, hey, I'm not going to even try to work this out. I'm just going to try to forget you. And then here you are in Times Square. And it's like, hey, how you doing? And you like... That was it. Now, I was just pulling out a piece of paper. Okay? Because I don't want no smoke from Amazon.
Yeah.
He was talking about weapons. No! It's a pencil. John Wick's, paper. To write on the paper.
Yeah. Yeah, and another thing about, I guess I'm thinking about people like myself, when you don't hold a grudge and you keep opening the door
Right.
for people, you're basically just handing them the yo-yo string or the
Yeah.
It's like, back and forth.
That's why sometimes I find in my life, and a lot of people may not agree with this, but that's why I just try to, like I said, if forgiving is not on the table, it's not on the menu, I just go out my way to forget, I have people that follow me on social media that, I don't want to delete them. I don't want to block them. But at the same time, it's like, please just don't interact with me. I know you're creeping. I know you're peeking and shit, seeing what I'm doing. Just don't interact with me. You understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like, wait, if you start interacting with me, there's a good chance I'm going to block you.
Yeah.
Because see, the forgetting part is very, very important. That is the thing that must move forward. So if you start that interacting with me, and I look and be like, who are this? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you blocked. You are blocked.
Yeah. So I guess holding a grudge.
He's going down anyway.
No,
free passes in your mouth.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, like maybe holding a grudge isn't so bad. Maybe it's the word, just the way it sounds.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not so bad because, you have to let people know, like, no.
No, I'm
not going to accept this. Or, if you want to take it to the hood, you got the wrong one. You got the wrong one. So, yeah.
So,
yeah, now that I think about it, a lot of people held that yo-yo string. I've had friends that, they were my friend when they chose to. Some days they were my friends, some days, I've had friends, friends whose parents, like taught them how to do the whole yo-yo thing. It's like, okay, she's a good friend, she can come over, and the next minute, you're not allowed around them. It's like, for what? So it's like, I was basically feeding into whatever mental issues or whatever was going on. Because I was not holding a grudge. Yeah.
It's a control thing, and a lot of people, when people see, one thing I noticed, I don't know if because I grew up in New York City where everything is just fast paced, people don't have time for the BS or the drama. I found out very quickly that, it's, like you said, it's a game that people play. And it's a power game where people feel that if they can control your emotions, if they feel that they can press a button and turn off a button as they see fit, depending on their needs, I don't need to deal with you. I don't need you in my life. You know what I mean? Well, I don't need that type of negativity in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I might start holding grudges.
Yeah, come on!
I'm gonna take someone to have that little heart-to-heart with me, or, tell her a story, or, apologize, or, I was wrong, and I'm like, oh, it's okay, come on, hang out,
No, now, if it's heartfelt and you can move forward, but see, again, that's that thing about trust. And, now you're basically on probation.
Yeah.
And if you do it again, I'm like, all right, cool. Now I know how I'm going to move forward. Now, it depends on the relationship. Because these same things happen at work. There's co-workers that just don't even sit work in the same office, cubicle next to each other, and can't stand each other and refuse to speak to each other. But then those bills come back in his mind. I'm not going to quit the job before him. He can quit. She can quit, but I ain't going to quit. So I get that part. Family members, all of that, makes a difference. But at the same time, when you have, I guess that word grudge, you're right. It's that word grudge. Because it's like mud, sludge. Doesn't work with fudge.
No.
It's not on the same level with fudge. But seriously, you have to, sometimes you have to just tell people, listen, I'm just not, as the kids say, I'm just not messing with you.
Yeah.
I'm just not messing with you.
No,
leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. And again, I think psychologically it is like kind of like this like safety gap.
Yeah.
Because when you're that mad at a person that you will just ignore them, be it a friend, a family member, or co-worker, that means that you are basically keeping yourself at peace so that you don't do anything that you will find yourself sitting in front of a judge explaining your actions.
Right. Yeah, so like no ill feelings, but I just, yeah. Because often, I mean, I don't know. So I guess some people hold grudges, the first time, I guess, it's where you are in life. If you've experienced with so much let down and backstabbing, then you're probably more like, okay, that's it. You do something, that's it. But, I mean, often, I know with me, I mean, I've heard other people's stories. Often you give people another chance, you call yourself being a better person. I hold a grudge. They're going to turn around and do unless they really
that's like babies. It's just like our daughter. You tell her to stop doing something. She will come peek around the corner, call your name like that, and be doing the same exact thing. But she'll be doing it slowly, like, okay, can I get away with it this time? If I do it this way, can I get away with it? And that's what people do, you know? And, just to bring up that whole judge thing, that's the first thing the judge will basically tell you, like, well, you're here now because of what you did. Couldn't you just ignore the person? Couldn't you just have walked away from the person? A judge will tell you that every time you get caught up in an altercation or, God forbid, something worse. That's the first thing they'll ask you. There was no way you could have walked away. There was no way you could have ignored that person. Yeah, I know they did that to you, but there was no way that you could have just basically held the grudge. You know what I'm saying?
You want people to take you serious. It's like I said, I'm speaking from my own experience. For me, being the type of person that, like I said, it was like a personal belief, for me, don't hold grudges. Because, life is too short. But it's like when, the line was really crossed, like just crossed too far, and, I was staying my ground, like, no, I'm done, I don't want to deal with this. Romantic relationship, friendship, family relationship. It's like they don't want to take you serious when, you're like, no, like, I'm done. And then it gets crazy. Either it gets violent crazy or,
vengeful crazy.
It's just,
Right. No, you're completely right about that. That's why I think kind of grudges are kind of necessary to a point. I'd rather ignore you because sometimes you approach people with the best intents in mind, and how do you feel when that person says, "No, I'm not gonna apologize for what I did." Now you're seeing red. You're like, you don't see
what you did.
And you're gonna tell me to my face that you don't care how I feel about it. So sometimes holding a grudge, you wouldn't be even having that conversation.
It's a situation. I mean, I would be more forgiveful. I would be forgiven of someone that had a drug addiction. Or was battling addiction and they stole from me. Or, I'm serious, they stole from you or they said crazy stuff. Now they're clean and, they're showing
They're still stealing from you.
No, but they're showing you that they're clean, they walking a whole different path and they give you that heartfelt apology, then it's like, okay.
That's different, And I think in my mind, I'm talking about regular, everyday. It's like you know better. Now if you got a drug or alcohol addiction or even a gambling addiction, whatever addiction may be, and you overcome that, there's no reason for me to hold a grudge. There really.
Watch it.
I'm not gonna leave my water down on the table while I run to the bathroom, but I'm not gonna hold a grudge. I'm gonna accept you as a human being that has made changes. Now, best case scenario is like, I know I stole, your DVD player. Here's a few dollars. That makes it easier, Remember that time that I stole later on $10,000 car hit? $119? That makes it easier. But then you have the people be like, well, that's not my fault. You know what I was going through. But that's not replacing the stuff that you stole. And I'm not making that come back. I don't know, this is a great subject. You always pick the good ones. Boom. Hey, listen, you've been listening to Real Talk 2.0, the show.
Listening and watching. You're used to the radio.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. I am used to it. We've been doing it like radio for like so long. It just seems like that's where we belong. But now we're doing new things, new levels to reach right here on Amazon Prime. But Real Talk 2.0 live, this show. I am Red.
I'm the T. safe.
And hey, listen, catch us next time, but until then, you already know, love you guys.